I never thought I would be doing a fourth part of the Keg Scale series, but here I am. It's been a couple years since I've been working with these scales, and what I've discovered is that the scales really have a shelf life. I'm not sure what that is yet. I'll be tracking how often I replace scales, but being primarily a software guy, I've really done another complete rebuild, and this time I made it so much easier to work with from a hardware perspective. So I changed my scales. I now have 10. I only need 6. I made 10. And I made them pretty much all the same with these little pigtails, and I'll show you inside of the keezer. I put the little pigtail on them because it's hard to reach down into the bottom of the keezer. So they're down there, and I'll show you this. And then I have, so I've got a little 4-prong plug that this plugs into, and then the wire that runs from there now runs outside of the keezer. When I first built this, I had everything to do with the scales hardwired and all inside of the keezer. So you've got the scale, then you've got just a chunk of wire that runs outside, or then you've got another one of these connectors where it attaches them to the 2 ESP-Duinos, and I'll show you those as well. So as soon as the scale starts giving you grief, and typically what I see is that there'll be a couple of days where nobody's had a beer, and the scale will continue to go down a little bit over all that time. It just slowly degrades. And when a scale does that now, I just swap it with another scale, pull that one out, rebuild the sucker. They're too cheap to troubleshoot the individual parts. I have done that, and sometimes it's been the chip that concentrates and amplifies the signals, and sometimes it's been an individual load cell, but it's just not worth it. You buy them in a set from Amazon, so you get the set and you just swap it out, stick it in there, get it configured, and you're ready to use it again as a replacement. So over time I'll know how long they last. I suspect the scale lasts 6 months to a year, but I'll have better information on that later, and I'll show you inside of the keezer and the back where I have these things. And with the ESP-Duinos in the back, of course, now, should I need to make a programming change, it is so much easier because it's right there. Or if an ESP-Duino would die, easy to swap out. But I'll get you pictures of the inside. So here is the inside of the keezer. It's shut down because I'm going on my winter vacation. So I shut it down because I'll be gone for a few weeks and I don't need the beer in here. So these are the scale wires coming in here. You've got the beer lines coming down from the taps. And then each of the scales are numbered. So, that's the first position. My first scale goes down there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're all numbered. I've got everything numbered, my tap lines, the air lines, but that's the inside where the scales will go. Oh, I have also added a plexiglass sheet that I put down at the bottom of the keezer so that the scales have a more rigid surface than the metal that was down there that I'm putting big dents in and whatnot. So this will give them a better base. I used a very thin sheet of plexiglass. It may want to go a little bit more heavy duty. I've already got a crack there, but I'm sure it'll last for a long time, so I'm using this for now. Let me show you the back. So this is the back of the keezer. You've got the scale wires coming out of the coffin on top, coming over to the 2 ESP-Duinos, where all the scales are hooked up with those same modular wires. So is the display panel on the side of the keezer, and then this is the serial connection between the two. When you are programming them, you do need to disconnect that serial connection, but now I can get in here and work with the programming on them whenever I want and change things out. So it's so much easier, and now I'm finally content with my Keg scales.